What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Real Talk Atlanta. We're your host, River the Realtor.
I'm Ashley LeRae.
I'm Tiesha Renee.
And Neika W.
And you guys, as usual, we are so happy to be here with y'all.
Happy.
What's going on, my girls? That's the one I heard from Tiesha on that last little clip.
I know, I love that.
I do too.
I don't even remember saying that.
If y'all haven't checked out our social media, Miss Neika W has been dropping some amazing content from the show for you guys to watch some little snippets when you're not tuned into the full segment. So definitely check us out, Real Talk Atlanta on social media. But yeah, what's going on with you ladies?
Nothing. I'm ready to get the day started.
Yes.
We were recording
4th of July
early.
weekend.
Yes.
And we are in here working.
Yeah, I was about to say, we all over here like, yes, like we finna do something. Everybody got showing.
Working on a weekend.
As usual. The work don't stop, and neither do we.
Okay.
But I'm really excited about today's episode because I feel like we have done a lot of stuff for our buyers, our sellers, just people who are really navigating the market. But we've been getting a lot of support from like aspiring realtors, newer realtors who are really asking questions about how we started. So I'm excited because this episode is really geared to you guys, to realtors, those in that aspirational kind of area in their real estate career. We are going to do a couple episodes, but this one is super special because we're going to really talk about really how you start from that test, that 4-hour test, and then kind of getting your feet wet and choosing a brokerage and just kind of how to navigate that to really start your real estate career. So let's just jump right into it, you guys. I first want to ask y'all, when y'all took y'all real estate exams, actually, let's back up a little bit. Let's start from the course. What did you guys do? Because there are a couple different ways you guys can take your real estate courses, but like, what did you guys do for your course?
For me, I guess I can start because literally all I did was I went on Google and I typed in online real estate course. I was working full time at the time, so I couldn't go in person to a class. So all I did was type it in and I just chose like the cheapest class I saw. I paid $99 for the online course.
What?
And that was it.
Same. Really? Literally same. I had no idea like really where to start. So I just looked up Georgia real estate schools. There was like a little coupon thing. They were like, use this course, you can get it. I'm like, what? And I just graduated from grad school, so I had some little graduation money. I'm like, let me sow this seed into my future. Right. So when I hear people saying like, I pay all this money, I'm like,
I did the exact same thing. Like I wasn't working. I had literally just got laid off the week before, and I was like, okay, bet. Like I'm just about to get my real estate license. Thank you. So I did the same thing. I Googled it. I did an online course. Mine was $200, but I paid for the pre-licensure and the post-licensure in one. So whenever I was done, I can go ahead and get into the post-licensure and get that done. So that came in a combo package. So I just did that.
What is the post-licensure for those who don't know?
That's so when you get your license, you are required to take another test. I think it's for 25 hours? 25 hours, and it'll count towards your total 36 hours that you'll need for the first 4 years when you become a realtor. It'll count only as 9 hours though. So that course is 25 hours long, but it'll count as 9 hours towards your entire 4-year period of those 36 credits.
Interesting. So maybe that's why.
And get it done because people forget about that and they have to finish it at the very last minute. But I was like,
get into last license.
Okay, get it done when you're not that busy. You probably don't have that many clients. Just get it done because when it picks up, it picks up. So I was happy that I did do that and got that done.
Yeah,
interesting. For me, my brother actually sent me a coupon. He went on Groupon, found a coupon for like half off. No, it's still there if you guys want. No, I'll send it to you. It will be on the resources tab, okay? And you go to Groupon, they give you half off. It give you the book. It give you like a notebook, and then but it's for the NC class. So it wasn't online. You had to literally, and it was through Metro Brokers.
Oh, so you were in the classroom. Okay, I did mine online.
We were online too.
And that's something you guys know. I did it in class, literally. How long did it take you guys to do it?
That's something I want to get into because, okay, everyone knows that if you're getting your license, you have to take the 75-hour licensing course, right? But there are different ways you can do it. Like Neika did hers in seat. We did ours online. And then there's like a hybrid method, right? In seat is going to be like your standard, like when we were in college, right? You have
go to class. Yep.
On time.
I don't know why y'all would want to do that, but
it was all day.
But it's hands on. Like you get a professor, you know, you get like colleagues and students in there who you can kind of feed off of and work with. Versus like for I don't know how y'all's was, but mine was like a self-paced online.
Same.
So it's just like whenever I have free time, I'm hopping in here doing this. But I will say like because I was working full time, it drug it out a little bit too long for me. Like I ended up taking about 6 months to do it, which isn't long, but I feel like it could have been shorter. Yeah. If I had more structure, like this is due on this day, this is due on that day. It's really like, here's the 75 hours, do it. If you take too long, we'll charge you an additional fee to extend your time.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
For me, like I said, I was also working full time. So whenever I got a chance after work or like on my lunch break, I'll just pull out my personal laptop and just work on it. So with that discount code where I paid the $99, that was on New Year's. So they had a New Year's special going on.
I think mine was like Black Friday.
See, I catch you on the holiday. What's the next holiday?
4th of July, y'all. Go get your real estate class.
So I started it on January 1st, and I finished the class in April. So it took me about 3-4 months to complete. And then after I finished in April, I gave myself the whole month of May to study.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So I got mine in June of that year, and then of course I got fired, but I did go work as a server because you gotta have some type.
She gotta have her money. One thing about Tiesha,
work as a server for a little while, but I got done in August. It took me 2 months to do it, but I dedicated a lot of time to that thing. So I got done in August, and then that's when everybody was getting their license. So I couldn't even book the exam until like end of September.
So
I had, granted, I mean, I think I needed that time to study, but like I was like, okay, now that's dragging it out. But at the end of September, I was able to book it and got the license.
I think one thing that I wish I would have explored more are those different options, because I was reading about that hybrid option where it's like they do a couple of like NC courses over specific topics. Like I know they do the math NC, so they can really show you how to do the calculations, some of like the mortgage terms, just the things that you might need that little additional help. They'll do those like in-person courses, and then the rest is online. So I wish I kind of would have did it that way, because I be needing that little...
And this is why this is why I took the NC, because I know I was a person where I get distracted when I do anything online. So for me, I literally got in 30 days. I mean, like the whole thing, the whole process.
That's it? A month?
So it was like 21 days for the 75-hour, pre-license.
Every day? How many hours?
No, it was like 2 days a week, but it'll be like from 9 till like 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
But 2 days a week.
That's a whole shift.
I know, but they'll like in between, you like have a week off during that month, but every day, like you will get like we'll do a chapter a day. Like it was intense, but it was like in person. They will go over the formulas with us and stuff. It was good for me because I need that 1-on-1. I needed to be in the room because I didn't know what real estate was. So
and that's why I think when people ask us like, what's the best method? I think determine what your learning style is. Right? Do you need to be more around people? Do you need more hands-on? Do you need more self-paced? And then kind of navigate it through there. Remember, you can do online self-paced, NC, or like a hybrid class. So once the class is kind of over, y'all know like the formatting is you take the 75 hours, you do your school test, and then you do your final test. So for me, y'all, that school test beat me down to the ground.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like one thing, I am like a scholar. If I'm nothing else, River is a scholar. Okay? I do school like nobody else. I failed my school test twice. Full transparency, y'all. I failed it twice, and I had to retake the course. Devastated, y'all. Shout out to Casa TJ, because my brother literally opened my door. I left my front door open. I was in my closet crying. I kid y'all not. You know I don't cry. I be like, Chicago. I was in my closet like in tears, like this is not for me and I can't. And y'all know my brother. He was like, "Are you done?
Are you done?
Wipe your face. Let's go."
Yeah.
And that's the type of people you need in your corner.
Because if you stop from like one little thing, it would like have ruined the whole process. But I say all that to say, like, to me, I feel like where I lacked was that I didn't really know how to study for the exam. So I wanted to like really get into like, what did y'all do to really prepare yourselves to get into like test mode?
So like you said, like I'm a scholar, like, and honestly, like I've always done good in school, but I've never been like the girl who studies. Honestly, I don't know. My roommates used to be in there studying. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to sleep. If I don't know it now, then I don't got it. You know,
been the queen of balance for a long time.
I really have. They be in there studying. I'm like, all right, y'all, good night. I don't have time. But anyway, I just haven't had to study either. So I had to like go online, go on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I did a lot of postcards. Like reading the postcards. I also like bought like studying material, like Exam Smart, like those like practice tests to get started. But this was after I passed the school exam. Before the school exam, I just did like flashcards and It was
Yeah,
pretty
I think those terms, knowing the terms for the school.
But don't just memorize the terms. You have to. That's what people get stuck at. I feel like you try to memorize what the term means, but you have to study it and apply it to real life. Like know what these things mean when they're actually applied to real estate. So that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that on YouTube actually. Like don't just memorize the terms. Memorize it as though like you're utilizing it in real life.
And I think that's where I messed up. I was vocabulary heavy.
This right.
Yeah. And on the test, they like, so River, Tiesha, and Ashley bought a. What is
it was more like situational stuff.
That's exactly what I was trying to get.
They don't ask you, what does this mean? No, everybody would pass. You know?
Right.
And full disclosure, I didn't pass. Well, I passed the class exam. I did not pass the official
the state exam.
The state and the national exam. The first time, because they give you your results as soon as you're done taking the test. It's terrible. Y'all, when I tell you, River, like you, I sat in my car and I cried my eyes out.
When you work so hard, y'all. For me, it was the school test, which traditionally, right, the school test is supposed to be like the easier of the two.
Yeah.
So when I failed that, not once but twice, I was like, and the crazy thing is, I think you need a 75. I think I got like a 71 the first time and like a 73 the next time, and I'm like.
So close. Same thing happened to me with the national one. I was 11 points away.
I'd rather lose by 50 than by 2. Like,
I
so really would rather lose by 50. Because at that point, it's like, you just don't know. Right. You were almost there. So I get that for sure. Well, I definitely want to talk more so about the national, because once you pass that, they give you your certificate and say, hey, you're good to go sit for the test. What was you guys' experiences like for the national portion of the test?
So what my teacher always told me is that he's like, don't wait too long to take the
that was my
national,
biggest
because it's so much information. If you don't take it right after the first, like the school exam, then you're gonna forget so much information. So just try to study for a week and then take the state test. And that's what I did.
That was my biggest mistake. I waited a month after I finished the class to take the test. You're gonna forget everything. And I kept thinking, I have a month to study. Like, I kept putting it off because I had so much time. And like you said, you forget things. I think that may have been one of the reasons why I didn't pass the national exam.
That's a really good tip. Do not wait, because
try to go as quick as
it's
you
a
can.
lot of
I can't even remember what I wore yesterday. Trying to remember.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's different for the state test and the school test, because the school test is really like mostly vocabulary and stuff, like a little bit of everything, but a state test is literally application. You have to read, you have to know how to read. So one thing that helped me,
you have to know how to read.
When I meant read, because some of the questions, if you guys remember, it'll say accept.
Read between the lines.
It's the comprehension.
Comprehension.
All of the following are true except.
And then you're like, let me pick like what are true. That's true. But you're not reading, right? Because as realtors, we have to read contracts. You have to know the line. So they have to make sure you know how to literally read and comprehend very fast.
Yeah.
So for me, what really helped is because I was the youngest, so I was getting everything so quick, and it was like other people that were older. So what I would do, I did a group study. And then, like, I'll be the teacher, and the things that I knew, I'll teach them. The things that they knew, they teach them. So
you're such a teacher at heart.
Right. Like, as we teaching, you're learning because you have to teach them.
Yeah.
Right.
So that really helped me a lot.
So I think a group or having like a partner, because another shout out to Miss Fatima Ali.
Hey Fatima, we love her
too.
too.
My girl, that is my sister in real estate, y'all. Our license numbers are literally one number apart. I went in and gave her my paper. She went in and gave hers. But me and her really sat down and like you said, where I was deficient in certain areas, Fatima's like, I noticed like the back of my hand, and vice versa. So there were different things that it's like, y'all know I'm a rapper too. So every like that keep it P at 43. I would say little stuff like that, and Fatima would be looking at me like, but then when it comes up on the test, she's like,
she'll remember.
Like just coming up with different things that can kind of help you remember.
Yeah.
Like what to do, coming up with different like just tactics and stuff. It's a lot of information at the end of the day. So just trying to memorize it without any basis, it's gonna trip you up. But once you kind of come up with a group, come up with a study plan that works for you.
Yeah.
I want to keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember how much the state exam was? I think it was $150.
I thought it was like 170.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I know I did one.
But I was like, I can't pay this again, so I better get it one time.
So remember that, if you don't feel prepared, you do have to pay for this exam. Yeah, and it is pretty hard to get an appointment.
It is. To take the test.
I originally took the first one at the Atlanta location with no problem, and then once I failed, I rescheduled it, and it took almost a month or 2 to get the next exam.
Yeah, that's for me because I remember I told you like a lot of people were getting their license. That's I swear. I had to go all the way to Savannah.
Oh, I was about to say.
Then COVID. It was in COVID.
That's where I went to Macon.
They had to like, you couldn't utilize. I know when I went, we couldn't utilize all the desks. So usually a test room, exactly, it would fit 30 people. Now that test can only have 15 people, so it was really hard. Yeah, I was on there checking every day. Like, is this somebody?
I was in Savannah. I made it a trip though. Of course, I made a trip with Babe.
Oh, nice.
I was like, this can either be a good trip, we can have a great time, or this is going to be a very, 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 very sad trip if I don't pass.
You got a long way home to think about it.
I got a long way home to think about that test, but no cap, y'all. I'm a test taker. I always do good on tests, but that was not to scare nobody. But that was the hardest test I ever took. Like, ever. Yeah. I stayed there for the whole 4 hours. I was the last person that left. I did not care. I was the last person that left. I thought it was how many questions on the test?
100. So it's broken up into 2 parts. You have the 100 on the national, and then 50 for the state test.
150.
People forget about that.
But it was like 5 extra questions on mine. It was like 5. I don't know, like
the bonus questions.
I don't know what that were.
They do a survey at the end.
5 general questions. Girl, I had to go so fast. I was like, wait a minute, it's more questions on here. But it was the hardest test. I was sweating. I went through the test one time. I had to go to the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom like
I did the same thing.
Go back through it, and I went through the test 3 times, all 155 questions.
Oh, no.
155, go back again and go back again.
You reviewed the whole thing.
I was not coming back.
Y'all know the one thing I told myself?
Me.
I said, River, you ain't got nowhere better to be.
I don't got
Not today, at least. You have nowhere to be. I always tell people, utilize that full 4 hours. Because if you're trying to speed up, where are you going? Especially if you fail, you're not going anywhere.
You're going home sad. That's where you're going.
I literally took that test and like read through it super, super slow. Anytime I start feeling fatigued, because I can't see already. So doing it on a computer, my eyes start hurting, my head start hurting. Girl, I'm in there put my head down, take me a 10-minute, go in the bathroom, stretch, just really breaking it up so you don't get burnt out. The test is really, really long. And even some of those questions, girl, the question be a whole paragraph. By the time I read through the question, I forgot what the question even was. Now I'm going back trying to do it. So I really tell people, take your time. You don't have anywhere to go.
Please don't rush. There's nothing to rush through.
For me, I had 30 days to do it. Like, literally the next day I had to go back to college. So there was no way. If I didn't, like, to be honest, if I didn't pass that test, I probably would not be in real estate because I had no other choice to go back to Augusta. So for me, like, the test, you have to be you have to be in a mindset where failure is not an option for you to really focus on that test. When I came out, I was like, oh my God, tell me I passed. Tell me I'm not looking. And she's like, you passed. And I was so proud of myself. I had 30 days and I did it. Like,
cheers to you.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
That you passed that exam. You in there like.
The first thing I thought it was, I'm going to find me a restaurant and get me a drink.
Yes.
Can we cheers to that?
Cheers to that. Cheers to passing.
Because y'all know we love us a good drink.
Okay.
One thing go ahead.
I was also just going to say, if you don't pass, when they give you your results, they do tell you like the areas or the subjects that you did poorly on.
So that's good.
Oh, no one else failed?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm the only one who knows that.
I failed the school test though, so I'm right.
It's okay.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because I did want to talk about like resources and stuff. One of the like biggest resources I use, PSIs who writes the test here. So they have a handbook, and in that handbook it breaks down what the exact sections are going to be on the test, and then how many questions in each one. That way you know, like for me, it was like 3 questions in property management. I was like, I'll take my chances. I'm gonna focus on these bigger areas where it's like 16 questions, 15 questions, really master it to try to figure out how to take the test. But were there any specific resources that you guys use, like online stuff? For me, it was that PSI handbook, and then I used the tool called Prep Agent.
I love Prep Agent.
Fatima actually, y'all know
Prep Agent was good. There's a blue
fire.
book. There's a blue book that has the past exams in the past, and you go and literally I saw like 3 questions that was in the book
on the test.
On the test. That is the Georgia real estate exam book. You're gonna know it when you look it up, but it's specifically for the state exam.
Let me tell you guys something, because I was on a very strict budget. I told you I only paid $99 for the class. I didn't buy any materials at all. All I did was I did the free Prep Agent. There was another one on YouTube. It was called like Real Estate Wizard or something. I just watched their videos. But another tip I want to give you guys, because when I failed the first time, when I took it, what I did after, I wrote down, I went back through the exam and wrote down every question that I think I got wrong.
Okay.
So, because, they give you a sheet of paper, like a scrap sheet of paper to use as notes. So before I left, I just went through all the questions. I don't know this. I need to work on it. Memorized it. When I went back to take the exam again, those same exact questions that I wrote down were on it, and I had studied it.
Nice.
That is a gym, y'all.
Okay, that is a gym.
So if you fail,
but
don't do it twice.
But that's a trick. There's a trick that always say, like, what you already know, you're gonna know it. Like, you're not gonna forget that. So focus on the things that you getting wrong. Like, even the school exam, you can use that to study. If you go back, they have the answers in the back. So check your answers. The things that you got right, no longer focus on them. You can review briefly, but you're never gonna forget these things. But focus on the things that you don't know. Yeah. Because these are the things that you know that you gotta focus on.
Right. But if you do fail, like, don't get discouraged. Like, people fail 3, 4, 5 times. Top producers, like, keep going. If it's really what you want to do, it's worth it, and keep going back as much as you can. Keep going back for sure.
Nothing worth having is easy to get.
Right.
So it's like, if you really want to do real estate, like, this is not to discourage you. It's to be honest. Like, this is not something you can, unless you like a little real estate wizard, then go for it. But, like, this is not one of those things where you could just, like, go to sleep, take the test. Like, you really have to put in the work to do it, but it's very doable. I mean, we're all sitting here. Overcame it. And one last thing I want to point out about the exam that people forget. There are 2 parts. Do not forget to study for the Georgia-specific questions. Because they are Georgia-specific. So knowing all the national stuff is good, but when they start asking you, in Georgia, what is, and you like, I don't know. Because you can fail like one part, not the other. You can pass the state, but not pass the national, and vice versa. So whatever state you're in, do not forget to study like your state specific laws so that you pass that portion of the test.
Absolutely.
But absolutely. Not everybody has their real estate licenses, child. We celebrated.
You a realtor.
We go ahead. You a realtor now. You go do your background check, your fingerprint, and everything. And the next thing is like, well, what do I do? You gotta find yourself a brokerage. That was something that was like one of my favorite parts.
But why do they have to find a brokerage?
Yeah, so you have to hang your license with a broker. As simple as that. You, as a real estate professional, you essentially need somebody to be responsible for you making real estate transactions. If they thought that they could just give you your license and you can just be free willy-nilly by yourself, they would do that. But it's really to put you in a structure, to put you in a position where you can still do deals but kind of have someone overseeing it in case you make a mistake. Y'all learned about Arizona Missions Insurance. Like, come on, use the things y'all learned. But that's really what makes sense. So how was y'all process finding brokerages after you guys got y'all license?
So I interviewed 3 brokerages before, like, even before I passed the class. Like,
wait, I want to stop you real quick. Can we talk about you interviewing them?
Oh yeah, I interviewed them. What can you offer me? Because we're independent contractors. Like, we're holding our license there, but essentially, we're paying you. Right. You get a split of our commission. And that's something that I'm looking at. Like, what is my split? Like, are you going to take 30% of my, or are you going to take 50% and I got 50%? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that make sense. Or what type of training are you providing? What's the culture of the brokerage? Like, do I get a mentor? Like, these important things. So you have to kind of make a list of like what things are important to you. For me, I really wanted mentorship and I really wanted that training. And I also wanted resources as far as like resources as far as CRMs and what do I get for marketing, that type of stuff. So those are the things that I would look for. But as an individual, you just have to pick and choose what you want. Like, what did you guys look for when interviewing?
Yeah, my biggest thing, because I didn't know anything. I mean, you have to realize the real estate course doesn't really teach you anything about real estate.
Because I still ain't use my riparian rights yet. I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Don't even ask me what that is. It's like,
I only remember because riparian is river.
Yes. And like black coral or something.
Child, okay.
I don't know.
Let's not go back. We've been there, done that.
Yeah. So the real estate exam really does not prepare you to be a real estate agent or a realtor. Agreed. Right. So I didn't know anything. My biggest thing that I was looking for when I was interviewing brokerages was training. That was I want to learn as much as I possibly can. What can you guys offer me? That was my biggest thing. And of course, I didn't look too much into the split because at that point I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to learn as much as I could. But of course, the split is something that's, what motivates you to do well. So you want to have a fair split. I'll say that. I also interviewed I interviewed 2 brokerages, and they were both pretty large brokerages, and we can get into that more because I ended up leaving. I just felt like for me, it didn't feel personable. There were so many agents there, and the brokers, we don't have like that one-on-one relationship. So I ended up later on switching to Watson Realty Co.
We started the same brokerage.
Yes. So I ended up switching from the larger brokerage to a team just because I felt like I was getting more of that one-on-one that I needed.
I feel like brokerages is almost like college, right? When you go to these big like schools, especially like in these big sporting communities, like an SEC school, ACC school, you are one of a million kids, right? Yeah. You don't really know your professors firsthand. You don't really get that one-on-one anything. Their generic trainings for generic topics, and you kind of go into it like that. The one thing that I didn't do is what you guys did, which was interview the brokerages, right? I called Fatima and said, where we going? Where we going? What we doing? Because one thing about her, but she really was in there like, so this is what I believe is necessary for but she's really, really good at that. I'm real good with the flow. Like, tell me what works best for us. The craziest thing is she went and had an interview with this one broker. She called me like, yes, I love it. They have good training. They have teams. They have this. This is where we're going. Girl, I'm up at the police department like, yes, I need this. I done signed up with this brokerage. She calls me like, girl, I found another brokerage. But I had already turned in the paperwork. So I was like, girl, you're on your own. And she ended up being the same brokerage I think you guys started off with as well.
We were together.
But similar to you, I wanted to reposition myself because the brokerage I started off at, I'm like, what's going on? Like, my very first deal, I sent them the contract. They sent me back something completely different. I was like, now submit that. And it's like,
they did the contract for you.
I submit that. And in full transparency, it got accepted. But I'm thinking in my head, if I get another client right now, I have no idea what you just did. I'm literally going to copy and paste the same contract and change the names and addresses. That's when I knew, like, I really, really needed to, like, go somewhere where I can get a little bit more hands-on.
And you guys don't feel like you have to rush to do this process, because with me, being that I was back in college, I kind of waited 3 months. You have about 90 days to find a brokerage after getting your license. So I waited 90 days. I interviewed it like only one brokerage, but that was about it. For me, it was just more, I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. But one of my colleagues, we passed together. We were studying together. We took the test together. She was like, the brokerage that we actually took the course with, they actually provide free training after like the 25-hour post-license. They give that for free. So, I was like, okay, take it. I'll do it. And then that's how I got into it. But, you have to do your research. I'll say that's what I didn't do. Earlier, I did not know more about brokerages and stuff like that. Like,
what questions you should ask.
Questions you should ask and stuff like that.
I didn't ask one question at all. So that's the thing. And I like what Tiesha said. She did it before. Like, before she got her
I already
license,
knew I was about to pass. Give me that license.
And another good question I also want to add that you should ask your brokerages, because you have to remember there are monthly fees that you have to pay your broker, monthly dues, I should say. So you want to ask the broker, what are you paying every month? This is, a whole nother bill at this point. So what are you paying? What does that include? As far as they may give you marketing materials, or it gives you access to like their database that they use
cold calling, that type of thing.
Things like that. So definitely ask that. Make sure that's something that you can comfortably afford, because with real estate, once you get your license, you may not close a deal for months.
And everybody got their hands up.
Yeah, like, you still got to pay your monthly dues even if you don't close.
To be a realtor, I think that's the part people forget. Like, we're making money, especially when we're first getting our license. We're trying to make money, but money's still going out.
I wasn't prepared. I'm not
prepared.
I was like,
dude, I had to get a backup plan, and it's okay to get a backup plan to pay for your, you gotta invest to
be the best.
Listen,
I love that. That's a good one.
Scare money don't make no money. Scare money don't make money.
Okay.
And I wanted to backtrack and ask you guys, because after you pass your exam, you do have to pay to get your license.
Oh my God. That was the part I hated. I hated that. I was like, what? I already passed the test. Just give me the license.
Just give it to me.
No, I think it was $170.
I think it was more.
That probably was more.
When I say I'm really trying to forget all the money.
Yeah, I have like PTSD from that.
Yeah, so please, if you take nothing else from this, save your money while you're trying to get your real estate license, so you can pay for your course. You can pay your monthly dues. You can pay for, because there are fees associated with you getting your real estate license.
Right. And if you're going full time, pay your bill. Like, save up to pay your bills for a few months just to be on the safe side. Some people get their license, close a deal in a month.
And no, I really like that point because it's like if you're not immediately closing deals and like real estate is your only source of income, where are you getting the money to continue your real estate business? So save your money prior to, you guys, if you want to, if you want to have fun.
Gotta have the fun.
Because I didn't have fun for a long time.
No. Maybe it was getting real sad.
Yes, yeah.
But, speaking of funds, I do want to, we keep saying the term realtor, but it costs to be the boss.
Oh, it costs a lot.
So in order for you to get that realtor designation and things like that, you have to be a part of some kind of association here. Most brokerages, I feel like, especially like Metro Atlanta, they require it.
Yeah.
And so that does cost. The cost, how much was the?
I think it's $495 a year.
A year. To be a realtor, because there is a difference.
They have that registration mark.
Right. Okay. So realtors are held at like a much higher standard than a real estate agent,
Right.
So yes, you have to pay. Yeah,
just rhyming
today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it for you.
So just remember, like you said, have your money saved when you think about things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even with that realtor designation thing, there are a lot of good things that come from it. You're part of an association. They provide training. They provide resources. So we never want you to think you guys are just throwing your money away. It's just a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
It's useful. It's helping you build.
And that's how you get your contracts as well, like your GAR forms.
Oh, right.
You
can't even submit an offer without
Right. You can't do anything without that. It's just crazy because a lot of people get into real estate depending on like what your motivations are. A lot of people get into real estate just to make money, but you have to remember it takes money
money don't make money.
Yeah.
Say that again. It takes money to make money. I like that. So I think that's a really good note. Just a quick recap, because we did talk a lot of things for new realtors. When you are looking to take your course, figure out what course works best for you. We did the online learning. Neika did the in-seat learning, but of course they also have hybrid classes now where you can do both. Take it, pass it, really study to learn the material, not to just learn the definitions, because it's very comprehensive. It's a comprehension-based test. Study for your exam. Take your full 4 hours and put your best foot forward.
The first time.
And don't take too long.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth time too.
Yeah, it does not take too long in between when you pass your class to take your exam. Just really knock it out. If you put your best foot forward, you're gonna win every single time.
Right.
Do like Tiesha did, and not like me. Start interviewing brokerages even beforehand if you can.
Today.
And really ask them questions. What do y'all think about putting together a list of questions that they should ask?
Look in the show notes.
Look in the show notes. We'll do something special for you guys.
I kept all of my like real estate stuff. It's at my old house, so I don't have it. But I did write or I printed them out. Might be on my computer. A list of questions that I asked the broker.
Look, we'll do like a little giveaway for somebody.
Yeah.
We'll put something together. We'll give you some real secret sauce on putting stuff together. But pick your brokerage based on your preferences. If you're a hands-on learner, if you just want your space, whatever that may be, and just really set yourself up to win for your real estate career. I feel like we all did that. And look at us now, child.
Right.
Here we are.
Closing deals and hills.
So I want to definitely switch over to our realtor babe, Miss Ashley LeRae.
With the question of the day.
All this rhyming today.
The mixtape is coming soon.
Okay. Right. So before we answer today's question, I want to remind you guys, please, if you want your question answered on the show, send us a DM or an email, and we would love to answer your question. It can be anything real estate related, personal, if you're a client or a potential client, buyer, seller, or an agent. Yeah, just ask away.
But keep it cute.
Today.
Yes. Please keep it cute in there.
I was about to rhyme again, but I'm gonna chill.
You was gonna say or put it on mute. Well, you was gonna say or put it on mute. Yeah.
Not you guys read each other's minds. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So today's question of the day says, what about real estate keeps you guys going?
I like that.
You never know what you're gonna do next. I love real estate because I feel like I meet a lot of like-minded people. You stole my answer, but go ahead. Like, there's a lot of like-minded people that knows about real estate, or people that are educated about, like money and finances and crypto and stocks. Like, you just never know. It's like it's another world, a world of luxury, a world of just wanting the best for yourself. Entrepreneurs, like, I just love real estate because you just never know. Being after, servicing your clients and making sure they're in a home and just having satisfaction from that, outside of it, it's always fun. Like, you just never know.
Yeah. One of the most rewarding things in real estate for me, because I came from a background in healthcare. So I knew that I always wanted to help people. And it's so crazy because I feel like I make more of an impact on people's lives in real estate than I did working in the healthcare field. Which is crazy, right? But just working with your clients, I mean, I almost feel like we're family. Like, what it takes for them, you don't know. Everyone's so different what it took for them to get to where they are in order to buy a house. It's great. So that's one of the things that keeps me going, is just being able to impact my clients in a special way, because we're for lifers.
Yeah, like,
for after we work together.
Once your realtor, always your realtor.
Yes,
Okay.
you know, and of course, like personal goals and stuff that you have for yourself or me, things like that. But definitely helping people's.
Yeah, for sure. Same here. I think in addition to like just meeting people, because I've only been in Atlanta since 2019, and the most people that I've met are realtors. So, and I enjoy being around strong, intelligent women, but also just like getting to closing day and seeing like, so for me, I feel like I started late in knowing the importance of real estate, of course, 'cause I'm 27. And I'm just getting a feel of like, generational wealth and all that stuff. So seeing like my younger clients who are like 22 and 23 buying houses, that just like warms my heart. Like, I'm just so happy that I helped them get there at that age, whether you're 23 or 43. But it's just a matter of like, I'm just so happy that I helped you get there, and you know this importance, because it's, it's important. So
a lot of people don't grow up, learning about this stuff.
Yeah,
so we're helping teach them. We're still learning things from our clients. It's great.
Right.
I have to go ahead.
Go ahead. But I was adding one more. But being their backbone, like literally knowing that without you, it wouldn't have been possible, and the way that it happened. So making sure that they go through hurdles and stuff like that peacefully. I love that.
Peacefully. Emphasis on that. Now I have to echo you all sentiments, because I feel like what keeps me going in real estate is literally where I started. Right? Just understanding that, when we first started real estate, I didn't know when I was going to get a client or if I was going to get a client, right? We talked about asking about commission splits, but I'm like, child, I'd be happy if I close on the house. Right. No commission splits. And so I think just over time, as the business grows, as we grow within ourselves as realtors, the amount of impact and the amount of influence we have had, that's what keeps me going. Like, I keep telling myself, like, I wish I knew some of the things I know now when I first moved to Atlanta back in 2017. I was 20 years old, just graduated college. If I had any type of influence like how I have to other people now, I think, my life could have been so different. The trajectory of like my investments, all of those things. So I just think being in a position to be able to really mold people's life, change people's way of thinking. I had somebody tell me, like, I thought you couldn't buy a house till you were 40.
Wow.
And they meant
Who said that?
Child. She was a younger girl, though. She was 19. She messaged me on Instagram. She was like, I really thought you had to be like 40. Like, you know how you got to be a certain age to run for
40
president
or married or something.
So many different things, but I feel like we're breaking so many different stigmas. We're breaking so many different like false sentiments about purchasing real estate, buying real estate, and becoming a homeowner. So,
girl, I'm about to shout.
Look, seriously, y'all. This is, I think, like you said, like I didn't work in healthcare, child. What I was doing, my last job wasn't fulfilling nobody. It wasn't even fulfilling my pocket, to be honest. However, my point is, like, there's a sense of fulfillment here. The thing about you ladies and me, but really you ladies, I want to speak on y'all, is that y'all love what y'all do, and y'all do it from a good place. Like, don't get us wrong, we got bills to pay.
Right.
We got brunch to go to.
Yeah.
But we really do it like our businesses are not money motivated. Like,
right.
The money's gonna come.
The money's gonna come. And I was reading a scripture yesterday. I was listening to
Take us to church,
please.
Okay, I have to. And it was saying whatever you're doing in life is supposed to serve God's purpose in a way. And I feel like real estate is that for me. It brings me closer to God. I was just saying that on my life, like how it, like it makes you move on faith. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
You don't know if you're going to close to that. You literally have to believe in Him and believe in your business to keep going. And it's like, you don't want to be in a place of scarcity. Like, a lot of people rely on the 9 to 5 because it's secure. They're comfortable. They're miserable, but it's secure. But for us, it's really, for you to be a realtor, you have to be strong.
This is walk by faith and not by sight, baby. Because I am blind.
Because we don't know what.
Child,
we don't know.
Yeah,
never. So,
but the wins keep coming in, y'all, and they're gonna continue to come because we always put the real in real estate.
And it's crazy. We wouldn't have met each other if we hadn't gone into real estate.
No, I love these crazy ladies. But I really do hope y'all take a lot from this episode. If nothing else, understanding why we did real estate, how we got to these positions that we're in, and just kind of where we started. We're definitely going to do some more stuff for realtors because we appreciate the support you guys have been showing as well.
Absolutely.
Learning from some of the stuff that we're talking. So we got a little bit of champagne. We're going to toast out. But, we can't wait to catch y'all on the next episode of Real Talk Atlanta.
Yes. Cheers to the realtors. We got to stick together.
Yes, the realtors. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.